Damian Lillard just got traded to the Bucks. What do you think about it, and what do you think of the deal?
First off, Vaughn, welcome to the pod. Obviously, Dan and myself kind of held it down most of last season. I don't know if either of you are familiar with the movie Fear of a Black Hat, but they got some hats, and we got a host. So
yeah, that is the greatest. Thank you for dropping that. No one talks about Fear of a Black Hat. That is honestly one of the funniest movies ever made. Yes. I digress. Go ahead, Raph.
All right. Just want to go ahead and get that out of the way. But obviously, I think about 20 minutes ago, before we started this podcast, news broke by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Damian Lillard is headed to Milwaukee. 3-team deal with the Suns and Trailblazers. Milwaukee only gets Dame, but that's all that matters as far as they're concerned. To add a piece of his caliber to their rotation, is huge offensively. Now they lose a lot defensively with Jrue Holiday being among the players headed out. He's going to Portland. But Lillard, I want to say I had him as like a late first round, maybe early second round fantasy guy before this. I think now that we know where he is, and they'll be teaming up with Giannis, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, you want to add him in there as well. I think he locks down first round fantasy value, at least the back end for me. So I'm interested to hear Dan's thoughts on Dame right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of at. And I was doing a little analysis on the ADP movement around the last week or so. And Damian Lillard did fall into the second round. And I thought it was a bit of an overcorrection, but it was definitely because fantasy managers were worried about how's this going to shake out. And now that we know, I mean, this is a special day, man. The first day we're bringing back the Rotoworld Basketball Podcast, Damian Lillard gets traded, couldn't have been a better situation. But from a fantasy perspective, I think this actually benefits. We talked about it much, but I think this is going to benefit DeAndre Ayton, who's going to be going to the Blazers the most. He goes from fourth wheel to the probably second option in the offense, maybe even first, probably not, but most likely second. But reports are going out now that Woj said that Jrue Holiday and the Portland Trailblazers are looking to find other places for him to go. So this is a full youth movement rebuild for the Portland Trailblazers. So Scoot Henderson, I think he's going to benefit here. Anthony Simons for sure. But then also DeAndre Ayton, because he actually gets to touch the ball a little bit more, which he always complained about in Phoenix.
I don't know if that's I was cool with him not touching the ball more, to be honest with you guys. But I am shocked. Like when I saw this trade go through, I was thinking, what is with us trading superstars and not getting much in return? There's no future building here for Portland. There's no draft picks. There's no guys that, in 5 years, they're going to be better than what they are now. So I honestly didn't like the trade. I would have gave it, a D, an F. I hate it. I think for Damian Lillard, you should get a lot more. Am I wrong on that?
Well, they did. I can run down the full deal if you want me to do that.
Yes, run down the full deal.
Now, obviously, Milwaukee just gets Lillard. Portland receives Jrue Holiday. Probably won't be there for very long. DeAndre Ayton. Toumani Camara, second-round pick out of Dayton, who was drafted by the Suns. That's maybe a name to keep in mind for silly season. I don't really expect much from him early on. Yeah. But also in terms of draft capital, they get a 2029 first from Milwaukee. It's unprotected. And also 2028 and 2030 unprotected pick swaps with the Bucks. So, you get some draft capital. As we all know, that's vital in terms of a rebuild. So you get that. So they did get that. Phoenix will receive Jusef Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. I think the first two names are vital for them just because of the lack of depth that we saw. Nurkic, he should slide right into the starting lineup. I think he can be a top 100 fantasy player for them this season. As long as, we've seen since that leg injury he suffered in 2019, kind of struggled. But I think being in Phoenix, he can give them a bit more defensively than Ayton did. Grayson Allen, primarily a points and threes guys, maybe some steals too. But I think he still has a chance for that late round value in Phoenix. The other two guys, not really too high on them. They couldn't do it in Portland. I don't see how they do it with a contender.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And in the Phoenix side, that's more of a basketball move. They were sorely hurting in depth. They addressed that in this trade. But the one thing that I was noticing that's flying around Twitter right now, Jimmy Butler is reportedly saying that the NBA needs to look into tampering. So I don't know. Maybe is Adam Silver going to get involved here? He's calling some BS on this. And he was quick to do it. As soon as that Woj bomb dropped, Jimmy was like, nah, flag on the play.
Well, Jimmy Butler, I mean, he was really hoping to get Lillard. Like, that would have been a substantial pick. And now that kind of leaves the door open for some other guys to get traded there. I will mention the Milwaukee Bucks are now the favorite to win the Eastern Conference. They're plus 165 ahead of the Celtics. And they're also the favorites to win the NBA Finals now. Plus 390 ahead of the Nuggets and the Celtics. So
I don't know about that. That seems I don't know. You just added Dame. You lost a couple of key defenders in a loaded Eastern Conference. I don't buy it. That's hype.
Yeah, I think we're gonna need 5 or 6 to 1 odds or better on the Bucks to take that one. If you're not getting better odds than the Celtics and Nuggets right now, I don't think I want to take a piece of that one.